All right, so it looks like this whole Cool Kicks controversy situation, it seems like things are getting a whole lot worse, which, of course, yesterday, a lot of coverage on this topic, which the entire sneaker community had a whole lot to say about this due to the fact that Cool Kicks is one of the most well-known sneaker resale locations in the country. So, of course, we covered the topic, which I guess this incident happened, 2 nights ago? Of course, more mainstream outlets have picked up coverage, which this has turned out to be a huge scandal, right? So if you guys are unaware, the Funko Forgery Division, they're responsible for investigating frauds, scams, trickery, deceit, false pretenses, and confidence schemes. They actually raided Cool Kicks, and this actually happened during a live stream, which is absolutely insane. So here's a scene from what happened. This is absolutely crazy, bro. This looks like something out of like Training Day or something like that, which, is this all really necessary? For a sneaker resale location? Well, apparently, I guess it is. Now, when you talk about Cool Kicks, the way that they're responding to everything, they've actually issued a statement, so we're gonna get into that here shortly. But as far as the store, it still remains open. They're actually live streaming currently right now as we speak via Twitch. They're just moving along like normal business, like nothing happened, which is kind of wild, right? Like I could understand, for them to continue the business operations as normal. People got mouths to feed. People are still employed there, but for them to live stream what's happening right now, I feel like, maybe it's a time to just like relax. Everything doesn't have to always be recorded. Everything doesn't have to be on stream. And I would say this is probably a good time to maybe just like relax, cut off the cameras, if you ask me. Now, on top of that, they also posted this to the Instagram account, which is just like a couple of hours ago, right? This is during the entire controversy. They're over here talking about which one is fake. Now, all I can do is like literally shake my head right here. It's like, it feels like they're trolling, like they're playing with us, right? The comment section, of course, is flaming them. So it kind of feels like Cool Kicks isn't really taking things too serious. So maybe on their side, they think that all of this is unnecessary and it's just like blown out of proportion and things will just like kind of brush over smoothly, right? You also got Cool Kicks employees posting pictures like this, talking about happy birthday to the GOAT, which is absolutely crazy because as far as Cool Kicks owner, he goes by the name of Adil Shams, which he was actually arrested, for the incident. This is wild because that boy was actually arrested the day before his birthday, which is crazy. Like, do y'all feel like they intentionally, picked that special day to, go ahead and book that boy? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy, right? So as far as the official statement from Cool Kicks, this is what they're saying, right? They're over here talking about yesterday, the LAPD impounded a small allotment of Nike sneakers that Cool Kicks purchased and received within the last 48 hours, alleged that the merchandise was stolen. This news came as a complete shock to our entire team, right? So they were shocked, the fact that they were over here caught up purchasing fake sneakers. That's what Cool Kicks is saying. So it continues on. Neither Cool Kicks leadership nor our staff had any knowledge or reason to believe that these products were stolen. We entered into this purchase in good faith, as we always have, committed to running an honest business built on integrity and trust. It is important to clarify, there have been no allegations whatsoever from law enforcement that any of the products were counterfeit, right? So they're denying the counterfeit claims. It seems like that's the big narrative that everybody's running with. Cool Kicks selling fakes, which I understand, being is that they're moving so much volume that from time to time, unfortunately, they're gonna get caught up selling a fake here and there, but it seems like for the most part, Cool Kicks wasn't involved in the business of selling fakes. But as this statement right here claims, maybe they were in the business of selling stolen goods, allegedly. So it says, Cool Kicks takes pride in serving our local community with authentic, high-quality products and service. It is at our heart of our culture. We want to reassure our community that the integrity of our product remains our highest priority. So they're like, yo, ain't no way we selling fakes, but we might have got caught up with a little bit of stolen goods, right? So they say, we are confident the truth will come out and the trust we have worked so hard to earn will remain strong. We deeply regret the concern and inconvenience this situation may have caused. Cool Kicks has always stood for honest business, and that commitment will never change. The Cool Kicks team. I ain't gonna lie, like when you talk about something like this, the reputation for Cool Kicks is already damaged, bro. Like this story is breaking everywhere. It's pretty much like nobody cares about the truth. At this point, everybody's just running with the fact that Cool Kicks is selling fakes. Sometimes, the better narrative is kind of what people believe rather than the truth. So we'll see how this entire situation plays out. Of course, in the past, Cool Kicks has been caught up, playing with fake sneakers, which I've mentioned, in a business like this, moving this much volume of sneakers, of course, some fakes are gonna get through, right? But in April of 2024, Cool Kicks owner Adil Shams, the same dude that was arrested, he actually filmed himself selling fake sneakers to 2nd Street, another resale location. Now, with this whole incident right here, apparently he knew these sneakers were fake and he was taking them to this retail location or resale location, I guess one of their competition called 2nd Street, right? So he had a pair of sneakers which he knew was faked. He took it over there like knowing that them boys probably would just take the fakes and filmed everything, like literally filmed himself in the middle of a crime. So they're just bringing up pretty much every incident with Cool Kicks right now. Anything in the past that was shady, anything that happened, they're bringing up the whole Cool Kicks, Kai Cenat with the Yeezys on the Shannon Sharp show and everything like that. Pretty much anything from their past that's questionable is now coming to light. But as far as their official statement, they're saying they weren't involved in the business of selling fakes, but rather got caught up, buying, I guess what they're saying, was stolen goods, which I ain't gonna lie, like this seems to be a huge problem here in the sneaker community because of course, we always hear of like these freight trains getting hit up. There was an incident where like over $3 million worth of stuff was stolen from the Mojave Desert. There's just so many stories that we always hear of, like if you follow the sneaker space. Plus, there was, of course, the whole Project Blitz incidents, which I spoke about previously. That was a whole big situation where people were like redirecting packages directly from the Nike factory. They were being intercepted. So basically what I'm trying to get at is all these early pairs which are hitting the streets, unfortunately, are unauthorized. They're not meant to be sold ahead of the actual release date. And there's a big problem that Nike's dealing with. Like you got places like Cool Kicks over here on Whatnot selling hundreds of side pairs of Travis Scotts ahead of the release date. And that's a super rare, super limited pair. So at somewhere down the line, Nike is not feeling this. They're pissed off. Somehow these early pairs are getting out ahead of the release date and they're fed up with it, which we got somebody chiming in. Uncle Chris, he talking about for the people in the back, there is no difference between early pairs and stolen pairs. I got to repeat that one again. There is no difference between early pairs and stolen pairs. Nike, other brands, they're not authorizing these pairs to go to resellers. So any way it goes down, it's illegal. Whether it be paying off the factory manager or sticking a gun in a truck driver's face, it's all theft, right? So no, he's not talking about backdoor pairs. That shop owner runs out once they land. And I'm talking about the pairs that are floating around months before the release, right? So it seems like all these bulk sellers, everybody's selling these pairs in advance. Nike might be onto them, right? I think that's what's kind of happening with this Cool Kicks case. Everything's kind of blowing up in our face, right? So it says, this is accurate to Nike policy. So to avoid any further confusion, I can confirm if they sold replicas and or reps, but these early pairs were obtained illegally. So another high profile reseller talking about Cool Kicks obtaining pairs illegally that were early. This dude put, in my opinion, the doofuses ruined the cave stones by sliding early pairs for months in advance, and they sitting on never-ending supply of Travis's, got refunded for a fake ASSC hoodie from them. Yeah, it's kind of wild, right? Especially with the cave stones, because that was a release which it seemed like all the resellers had pairs in advance, which is wild. Like, how do these resellers get all these pairs in advance? Like, what's happening? I feel like Nike, we're gonna see more crackdowns happening. This dude put, to be fair, even the store's pairs under the new terms of service sort of apply the same. Nike doesn't consider them property of the store until release. It's getting tricky. This dude David put, regardless, he's doing some extremely shady-ish if you're copping a felony in LA as a minority. What? What is bro talking about, bro? All those train robberies and stolen stock in LA had to go somewhere. I'm saying, right? So everything, of course, is alleged. Remember, Cool Kicks, they're innocent until proven guilty. But as far as this story, it seems to be polarized and everybody's invested. Everybody wants to know. It's picking up bigger mainstream attention. And for a scene like this to go down all over some alleged stolen sneakers or fake sneakers, I think this is kind of crazy, really. Is it necessary for all of these police to be out here? Look, we got like 20 officers, guns holded up, police cars everywhere, all for this little old dude. What's his name? Adil? All for this guy right here. Like, all the guns necessary. I think the truth will come to light, but as far as the Cool Kicks employees, they act like nothing's wrong. Seems like they're joking, they're clowning. They really feel like everything's gonna be cool. But as far as the reputation for Cool Kicks, I feel like it's already damaged. Like, even whatever truth comes out to this story, I think it's going to be running narrative that Cool Kicks sells fakes. Like, no matter what happens, when they're claiming it was stolen, but everybody just wants it to be fakes, right? So we'll see how this whole story plays out. But if you ask me, things are getting a whole lot worse. So, of course, drop your feedback down below, JATV. I'll be checking in with you guys next time. If you enjoy the content, smash the like button. Plus, if you've been watching, you know what I'm saying, you rock with the channel, you haven't subbed yet, consider subscribing. Come along for the journey, man. We're currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. JATV, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.